Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim. Welcome to Fireside Chat. Another beautiful evening here in Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida. Man, we got it made. It's you can tell what the breeze is by the fire. We're not without some wind out here, but the temperatures are what you would call cool, not even chilly. So this fire is really, really nice. You know, if you got one of these for yourself, I got this one for $100 at Buc-ee's. I think it was a great deal. If you had somewhere that had side curtains, like an easy up, you don't have to worry about the heat getting on the ceiling, as long as it's not, real confined. It would be amazing. But all the heat, excuse me, I got the hiccups. A lot of it is escaping by just going up in the sky and blowing off because of the breeze. But when you have a very calm evening with cool temperatures that warrants a fire, and you can turn it down to, like, look, that low, where that's all you need. But we need some heat. It isn't that mild out here with that breeze, and I'm wearing nothing but shorts and polo shirt. So how you guys doing this evening? All 111,614 beautiful souls out there. What did I do today? Let's see. Got up, made those videos, you saw that. And then, did I go to the gym? I told you can't believe a damn thing I say. I never got to the gym. All right. Day before yesterday, I went to bed at 1 in the morning. And then I got up at 8. And then that day, I didn't do anything. I never left the camper. And then last night, I'm getting my time mixed up. I got up this morning at the crack. I think it was 6. And I went out and did what I did, made breakfast and all that, and really didn't do anything else. Went to the store. And I've been watching YouTube videos. So, here we are. We're going to live out the rest of our days. What are we going to do? We got to get off our seat, get off our duff, and start doing it. Quit talking about it. Quit worrying about the weather. I'm not going to drive to New York right now. But March is almost here. I've got the eye doctor a week from this Tuesday. And then I have to get a CT scan to check on that cholesterol deal with the arteries or whatever, to see if there's any plaque. Rather than just blood tests, we're going to go ahead and, get the real deal test. I think that's the 27th. We'll go to some imaging place and get that done. And then there's 28 days in this month. Going to be March 1st here in a week. So it's about time to go. It's about time to go. CC Rider will be parked in the garage that I use. My friend has. It's always available. I'll leave that here, of course. Jump in the Super Crusher and hook it up to the crasher here and take off. Just make sure I don't think I need any more grease in those wheel bearings, do I, Bubba? I just did them before I went out to Laughlin. That was, right at 5,000 miles round trip. I think they're pretty good. Tires are still excellent. Just get the tire pressure up on them, which I found out was key last time. Hook up the old weight distribution hitch. I've got my noodle in there with a razor. I just need to cut it in half and wedge it underneath my bedroom door, this sliding door, so it doesn't fall off the hinges. Fill it up with gas and take off. Then fill it with gas shortly after that again, and again, and again. But hey, you got your home here. You don't have to get a hotel, right? Yeah, I mean, what's the difference? You could drive a car that gets 40 miles per gallon, then go grab yourself a $200 room that night and every night that you're out traveling. But believe me, it's about 200 bucks. I mean, you're gonna spend 150 anyway. Used to get these rooms for 39, 49, 89. Now you don't even know if you want to stay at a place like that, and you don't even know if they have an availability, or if there's going to be one at a certain juncture of your travel. You might be out in the middle of nowhere in that desert, that long stretch in between towns. And so you've always got your house with you with a camper. And then of course you can save on food. You don't have to go to a restaurant or, the fast food stuff, because you have the ability to buy groceries and cook your meals. And believe me, each day, for what you put in gas, well, I think it's no more than the same. I think it's less. I think it's less to do it like this and get 9, 10 miles per gallon. Oh yeah, on my car. I drove it tonight, and I definitely don't want to sell it. Not at this time. It's not about the money. It's not about losing money, or I don't want to lose money. It's not about that. And it's not about that I need it to save gas to keep from driving the truck. It's not about anything, but I like the damn thing. And it's much easier than driving the truck. I mean, that's not an F-150, it's a 250. And it's four-wheel drive. It's not difficult, but when you drive that, when you have your druthers every day and you got 2 keys in your hand, you come out the door and you say, which one should I take? There's no question you jump in the Honda. And so since the pain is gone, I spent the money and I bought it. And it's insured. There's no reason that car can't last me. And if something should happen to where I can't travel and I told you we have ambulances all the time. If I want to sell this and the truck in the next year or 2 and do the sticks and bricks again as I get older, or the next 3 or 4 years, whenever it'll be. I mean, my friend from Quebec is 68. He's not slowing down. He's looking to get on the road here again soon. He's on the road now. What am I saying? So I see another 2 to 5 years. I mean, that's as far as I can think I can look out at it. Who knows? I might be doing it for another 10. I might only do it for another 6 months. Can't believe a damn thing I say. But no, I see the Honda sticking around for whatever I do. Whether I sell this and go back to a house or an apartment or not, I have a passenger car. And I'm going to reside in Florida. I'm not going to be on the road moving around all the time, and wherever I move to is where I live. I have my health insurance here, my address is here. This is where I'm at, and this is the car I have. Oh, just like any of these snowbirds that come down, they have cars they leave here, or their cars back home, and then they have a truck to pull their camper. So really, to get rid of it is kind of like not making me a minimalist anymore. I mean, not turning me more into a minimalist. It's kind of taking away of what the ideal program is. I bought it for several reasons, but I've learned to, and I think the good Lord has not let me sell it, because, I mean, I had that thing written down pretty low at 35, and I mean, I didn't even get like an offer. I mean, some ridiculous people made me an offer, but they were just being ridiculous. And I got offers wholesale from the dealer and Carvana, and that's, if they're willing to pay that, then it's worth this. So, and whatever it's worth a year from now or 4 years from now, it is. I don't care. You got to buy them. At one point, I bought it, and I got it. Sounds like I'm trying to talk myself into something, right? But I'm just trying to tell you, I love that little car. The Cadillac, forget that Cadillac. That's not my lifestyle. Now, that might be when I get the sticks and bricks and I'm all settled down and I'm much older, and then I go into the Cadillac store and I get me a Caddy. The Tesla, it was interesting. I mainly did that just to make some content and to see what it's like. It was very exciting, exhilarating, interesting, the technology and self-driving and all that. But, you know, I already have pretty much an electric car halfway. And in my opinion, actually better. I don't have to do any of this plug-in charging business. So, yeah, I'm good. I'm very good. It's like needing a bigger fire pit. I'm good. Now, what about campers? Do I need to trade that and get something smaller or bigger? Heck no. I definitely wouldn't go smaller. No way. I look around here and I see these folks that have these fifth wheels and different rigs, and they're all fifth wheels really. When you get bigger than this, you go to fifth wheel. But then what do I need? I need diesel. I already have 3/4 ton, but I need diesel. Now we got to go shell out more money. Nah, I'm not going to do it. It's like the same thing with the car. So I've got my niche, and like it or lump it, this is it. And that's it. You know, my son used to say when he was a kid, we used to go to the desert with my sand rail. Well, we had a 3-wheeler, and then, you know what 3-wheelers are? They outlawed them. We had a little 3-wheeler. And my son says, Dad, if you ever get a sand rail, dune buggy, you know, and a motorhome, you've reached the top. Then it's just a matter of who has the nicest sand rail and the nicest motorhome. So I had a Volkswagen sand rail, and some of these guys had these Boss engines with these super suspensions, and they could ride wheelies. And other people, I had a Class C, they had a big Class A or a diesel, you know, but they were still an RV. So we got to the top. Well, I'm in the RV world. I've got a 3/4 ton truck, and I've got a beautiful camper. So I don't need the fifth wheel. I don't have someone living with me that I need it, or kids or any of that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is ideal. And I think the good Lord made it that way. Look at these sirens, what's going on? Every single night. Every single night. God. And you know, when you talk to people about what kind of gas mileage they get, not towing and towing with these trucks, whether it be diesel or gas, they're all getting 9 and 10. Everybody gets 10. 10's a good number. Such a nice evening. I hear voices everywhere. People are just outside. It's a beautiful evening. It's a Saturday night, right? Saturday today? Saturday. Should be somewhere listening to some music or something. Dancing. What do you think is going on up at the Villages at the Square? Goes on 7 nights a week. But what do you think's happening tonight? It's Saturday night for the 5th time this week for those folks. Me too. It's great being retired. After you've done it for a while and you just think about, you know, I mean, I don't say I would have a problem going to a job 20 hours a week, 25 hours a week, you know, a day here and a day there through the week, or maybe even 3 in a row or whatever. 2 days a week, who knows? Whatever I would be excited about, something I didn't mind, you know, it would still feel like I'm not working, because when you're not somewhere 3, 4, or 5 days a week, or somewhere else, home, golfing or whatever, it's the same thing. You are not working. And, you know, you don't have to get out there and deal with traffic and hate it. No, this is great. What a life. I can't believe I'm here already. Next thing I know, I'll be in my chair drinking Geritol. I won't be doing anything. So I gotta live now, man. I gotta live now. You finally get to the point where you don't have to go to work. You got a little income coming in. You got a little savings going on. You don't have much debt or any. I mean, you got your every month, rent, electric, car insurance, all your stuff that never goes away. But you get here and you don't want to waste it. Say, all right, I don't have to go to work today. Okay, I don't have any bills except the basics. And I got a little bit of money. Let's go. Let's go. Like Johnny Vegas says, let's get real, buddy. Let's get real. What a cool guy. And California Steve and Timmy Appleseed and all the others, Scott and Laura, all these people that I meet in my channel are just really amazing Americans. Yeah. And even the guy today from Quebec I met, he was such a nice guy. I love meeting nice people. I was thinking, he's meeting me today and he's out traveling around. I was putting myself in his shoes when I travel and I meet people, whether it be at Love's or in Laughlin or wherever I might be. Even when I traveled with my 4Runner and I went to Moab, and you're just meeting people. Even when I had my Harley and I was traveling and staying at campgrounds at night, camping in a tent, and driving to Sturgis and Yellowstone, and you meet people every day. You're talking to them. You're on your best foot. You're always got the great attitude, and you're creating such an exciting part of your life. Everything gets to be kind of mundane when you just kind of do a routine, and that's fine. It's not that it's you can't and still be happy, but if you're a wanderer and you like to go and you've been doing it, you find that just like when I shot my guns the other day, I have 5 different guns I shot. I quickly decided and discovered that I enjoy shooting some more than others. And I enjoy traveling more than just sitting here all the time, and going to the gym and different things. I want to do those things, even if I travel, walk, exercise, but to just stay one place and that's all you do, eat, sleep, walk, go to the gym, Walmart, I find life a lot more exciting by just, even though it costs you money, if you've got the time and a little bit of money to do it, why not? It's fun. You're not going to be in your deathbed having any regrets. Look at this fire. I told you last night I shook the rocks and they're all leveled out now. I like it. When I used to go to the desert years ago and I lived in California with my sandrail, we'd light a Duraflame log, or any fire. We called it Desert TV. You'd sit and stare at it. I'd be sitting on, talk about doing things, being adventurous. It's the way I've always been. I was on top of a sand dune that was like a mountain. When you think of sand dune, don't think of a little hill. Don't think of an anthill. Think of not a mountain, but a big, tall hill. Pure sand out in the desert. And I would take this Volkswagen sandrail I've got, and it had these big tires in the back that were only like 5 pounds of air in them. They were like balloons, they go right on top of that sand like a boat over water. Had these big paddles on them, and they would dig into the sand, and it would just take you straight up these sand, small mountains, big hills, and you get up on the top. In this one area we used to go to in Glamis, and the I-8 that came out of California into Yuma, Arizona was right out, this desert was right off the interstate. And you go to that top of that mountain, you'd hear them semi trucks coming from 2 miles away. You could see them. You could hear their engines and their smokestacks, Be like 10 o'clock at night or midnight or something. You're sitting on top of a sand dune with a Duraflame log burning. and you can see the cars going down the freeway, and you're like, man, this machine, if it wasn't for this machine I got, I wouldn't be sitting here. This thing got me here. I was by myself too. Pitch black at night, but I knew the trails, and had these big KC lights on top of the roll bar that lit up the dang desert like daylight. I mean, I had no problem seeing. Well, my eyesight was better too. And I'd climb this hill. I knew already I could get up there. And then we would have this big buggy whip that was on the back that went up about 20 feet. And there's a big bulb, a dome lens. You can get different colors. You get a blue bulb, an amber bulb, or a white bulb. And it would be on the top of your buggy whip. And when you hit the switch, it put off a big circular light around where you were parked, like a spotlight was coming down on you. And it would illuminate the area. You have your little fire going there, looking out over the freeway, and you're like, man, look at me, I'm up here, got this machine, how cool. You'd be wearing clothes like this. You didn't have to wear any heavy safety equipment like on a dirt bike or a quad, because the dune buggies had a 5-point seat belt like the NASCAR guys use, and a roll bar. I mean, if the thing rolled over, you're just sitting in there. So you were really safe. And they were very low to the ground. And if you acted right and didn't drive crazy, you were fine. Man, I miss those days. That was cool. That was when, like I said, my son said, you know, when you get to the point where you've got a sandrail and an RV, a motorhome, we used to say, you're at the top. I got to be at the top. I had a Class C, a Ford 25-footer, and that Volkswagen sandrail. I was out there. I've talked about it before. I'd go out and sell them coupons for the auto service things I did for 33 years. I did it in California too. Did it in California, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida. And I'd go out and make myself a pocket full of hundreds, and Wednesday or Thursday, I'd leave. I lived in an RV park. I lived in that Class C for a couple of years, like I'm doing now. And I stored my sandrail at a place local. It was very cheap in those days. I lived in Escondido, California, in the San Diego County area, right outside of Vista, north of Poway. And come Wednesday or Thursday, I'd fire myself. I'd go load up with a bunch of those plastic cans that you put the fuel in, like race car drivers use. Not a lawnmower can, but I mean a big one with that spout where it come out real fast to fill the sandrail. And load up the RV full of drinks and food and steaks and burgers, and hook it on the back of the RV. I'd leave my site like I have here, I should say. And it was about a couple hours to the desert, 2.5 hours maybe, if that, just over the mountain. And pull off the main highway into whether I went to Ocotillo Wells or if I went to Glamis. I was more of an Ocotillo Wells person. That one had more trails and washes and, you know, little desert bushes and tumbleweeds. And Glamis is a, if you've ever seen it on YouTube or anything, it is an ocean of pure sand. I mean, you can't even make a footprint in it. It just fills in. Dunes and dunes and dunes, like you've seen in Arabia or something. It's an amazing place. You get lost out there. But those were the days. I bought that camper for $5,000. No, $3,500. somewhere in there, and all the tires blew out on it on the way home because they were dry rotted. I didn't know anything about it. The water lines busted because they're just those little plastic ones. And I didn't do any damage to it or anything, and I put new tires on it. I was doing quite well at the time, you know, with my advertising business. And after I got those two things done, that RV was amazing. It had a big 460 V8 in it, Class C. I think it was a 1980 Ford Class C RV with a rear bath. So the few RVs that I've had have been kind of bitching. I mean, I had that one, then I got that Wolf Pup, and this one here, which is the Mac Daddy, to be honest with you. So 2 I pulled and 1 I drove. And after the end of the weekend, you know, when I'd come back, I'd drop the sand rail off, and then I would pull my RV back into the, at a cement slab just outside the door. And I'd back it in there, put it on the jacks, put the awning out. I had my Honda Goldwing motorcycle with a cover on it sitting there. I also had a Goldwing motorcycle at the time. I had a little Honda hatchback as my car I drove around selling in, a used one that I bought from some Navy guy out there. It was perfect condition, like any Honda, ran perfect, never had an issue with it. And then I had the driving, you know, RV. So I'd come back, I'd back it in, drop off the sand rail, you know, come home. It was the Escondido RV Resort. Had a beautiful entrance when you come in. Had new neighbors all the time. Unlike here where people are pretty much year round, it was a place that, like the place I had at the Orchards in Cedar City, Utah, some people would stay a few days or a week, but it was turnover, you know. They didn't stay there year round. But always meeting new people. I'd pull it back in when I got back from the desert and get in my Honda on Monday morning or Tuesday, whenever I felt like going back to work. And I'd go out for a couple of hours, sell a bunch of those little service coupons that I sold, and come home, barbecue, had a grill, had a swimming pool there. I'd go to the gym or go golf. I golfed. There was a golf course. I played with a couple of people that did stay there long term, like me, month to month, I should say. And we played golf together. And I would go out again every day for a couple of hours for 2 or 3 days, and then I'd be thinking about that sand rail, and I'd take off down to the gas station where I bought this jet fuel. I mixed it. It was 110 octane. I mixed it 50-50 with 93 octane at the regular gas station for my sand rail. It had a Volkswagen 2280 in it, CC, with a Weber carburetor. And it had that big pipe that come out the back, you know, like a big horn, like a bugle, you know. And I took the the baffling or whatever you call out of it, so it definitely had its own sound. Oh man, that thing rocked. It was kind of a ruby red, candy apple red frame. Like I said, it had them chrome KC lights on top of the roll bar and in the front. And it's all open. You know what a sand rail is? I mean, you're just sitting in it like a dragster rail, you know, except there's no body on it. It's just all tubing. And it had these, you know, the clutch and the gas pedal down there with the linkage. You could see everything because it was all open. And then you had this shifter here. It was badass. I mean, it was, I just bump start. I think I had a push button start actually. You turn this key and then you push this button. That's right. Bump start. Thing fired right up every time. Ran perfect. Never had an issue with it. Sold it to the first guy that looked at it, and then I sold my RV to the first guy that looked at it. And this was in 1999, and I moved to Kennesaw, Georgia, where I continued my career in the advertising coupon deal. For a dozen years, I lived in Atlanta. And then I started visiting and frequenting people I knew down here in West Palm Beach the whole time I lived in Atlanta, because I had lived here with my father when I was in school, when I was a kid. So I was here and I was in San Diego kind of growing up. Back and forth, you know, more than one time. And then, like I said, I put a dozen years in Atlanta. And now here I am again. Come back down and started in West Palm. Then I left Atlanta and came to here, to Sarasota, that's right. Right here. Lived over in Lakewood Ranch. Went back to West Palm a couple years, right when the pandemic came. You know, the pandemic changed everybody's life, didn't it? Well, anyway, folks, let's wrap it up for the night. Evening chat, I went off on this, I went off on that. We talked about everything. I'm sitting here like I'm in the psychiatrist's office, and I'm just talking to you guys, I guess, speaking what's on my mind, what I'm thinking about. So now you know my thoughts and what I think about and what I remember and reminisce about. And you've also been privy to knowing all my things that I've gone through in my personal life and with my health, you know, regarding my eyes. You know, both of them are affected. I'll say eyes. And, you know, with dermatology, and just, you guys know it all. And you're very supportive. You're good listeners. I try to keep it going for you. That I know that not everybody likes on every video, of course, but you do show interest. And whatever it is, cooking an egg or sitting around the fire here, or morning chat, coffee, shopping, McDonald's, Walmart. And of course, I know everybody does like the traveling and cooking steaks in Walmart parking lots. And remember the bush, I forgot about that RV, didn't I? What was it called? Bush Tech? No. Bushwhacker. Yeah, how can we forget the Bushwhacker, man? What was it called? What did we name it? We had to begin with the C. We called it the, everybody had other names for it. The coffin and, what did I call it? Wow. I just can't even remember now. It's escaping me. Let me think about it for a second before we end the video. What was it? I wish you could tell me through the phone. It was called the, began with a C. Well, I know one thing. Every time I try to think of something, several of you put it in the comments. But my propane's going to be getting low. I do have to go to Ace tomorrow and fill up both of them. I wasn't going to fill this one up, but I know after tonight, I'll top it off. That way I'll have both, and they'll be ready to go for the upcoming travels that might be coming here in the next few weeks. No more than a month, less than a month maybe. Well, anyway, that'll give you guys something to do. I hope you guys have a good night. We'll see you in the morning for coffee. And it's only 8 o'clock. We got to get this video up. So let's get out there and crush it.